All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to get into a set of ideas from D. Tran's book, Presence, Not Position. And what I love about it is that it feels both totally radical and kind of deeply familiar at the same time. This isn't a manual for how to get ahead. Think of it more like a collection of field notes from a completely different way of being.
So here's the book itself. And I want you to pay close attention to that subtitle, Field Notes from Stillness. That part is everything. Because this isn't a how-to guide. It's not a 7-step plan. It's an observation. It's about what happens when you just stop. Stop running in the race for a second and just notice the incredible shift that happens inside.
You know, we're all taught from day one to move forward, right? To climb the ladder, to get ahead. But this book just stops and asks this really provocative question that kind of frames this whole conversation. In a world that rewards all that, what if the real goal isn't to move at all? What if it's just to stand still? To really get what stillness is about, first we have to talk about its opposite. And, well, it's the world we all know so well. This constant, never-ending race for position. Just think about it for a second. In any meeting, any social gathering, even online, there's this unspoken dance that we all do, isn't there? The author calls it a familiar choreography, which is just perfect. It's that subtle leaning in, the instinct to claim a little bit of space, to position yourself just a little bit better. It's so practiced, most of the time we don't even realize we're doing it. And what fuels this whole race? Hurry. But the book says hurry isn't just about being fast. It has a texture. You know that feeling? It's that constant, low-grade anxiety humming in the background. That feeling that if you stop moving, you're going to get left behind. It's that fear of missing out if you're not constantly connected, constantly doing. This really gets to the core of why we're always performing. The book suggests that being loud, making a big show of things, it's not really about confidence. It's actually a strategy. It's like you're leaning out, scanning the room, just waiting for someone to nod and tell you you're doing okay. It needs an audience to even exist. And right here, this is the alternative. After deciding not to step forward, not to take the spotlight, the author has this amazing realization. Stillness wasn't empty. It wasn't passive. It felt complete. It was a sense of wholeness, like you've already arrived, without having to move a single inch. So what happens when that constant drive to be in the race starts to soften? This is where things get really interesting. It's a quiet but incredibly powerful turning point. This is the shift. And it's not some big, dramatic decision. It's more of a gradual fading away. That need for more proof you matter, more recognition, more momentum, it just kind of loses its grip. It stops being the engine that drives all of your actions. Oh, I love this distinction the book makes between ambition and appetite. Think about it. Ambition is like a project. It has a goal, an endpoint. It can actually finish its work. But appetite? That's just a restless, bottomless craving that's almost never satisfied. The real change happens when ambition is done and you make a conscious choice to stop letting that endless appetite run your life. And all of this leads to a really simple but profound statement. Stepping away isn't about admitting defeat. It's not saying, I lose. It's an act of clarity. You're leaving the whole comparison game, not because you can't win, but because you've finally realized the game itself doesn't offer anything you truly want. Okay, so if you're not competing, you're not wanting, you're not hurrying, what's left? What does this new landscape of presence actually feel like? Let's dive into that. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Being present doesn't mean you're some kind of passive sponge, just soaking up all the energy in the room. Nope, it's actually the opposite. True presence has a real structure to it. It's built on strong, clear boundaries. Think of it like this. You can be surrounded by chaos. You're there, you're observing it, but you're not letting it knock you off center. Or you can be absorbed by it. That's when you're so permeable that every little external thing, every opinion, every bit of frantic energy, completely changes how you feel inside. The goal is to be surrounded, but never absorbed. And here is the key redefinition of what stillness actually is. It is not about isolating yourself from the world. It's about building an internal core that's so stable, so solid, that the world can move all around you. And it will be fast and loud and demanding, but none of it can pull you off your center. So this internal state sounds really peaceful and all, but what's its actual value in the real world? Well, it turns out this internal shift creates a powerful new signal, one that the world is starting to need more than ever. Let's just start with a simple reality. Performance, the ability to produce a ton of output really fast and really efficiently, that's becoming a commodity. Machines will do that. Speed and volume are just not uniquely human skills anymore.
Which, of course, leaves us with a really critical question. If machines are going to handle performance, what's our role? What's the uniquely human thing left for us to do? Where does our value really come from? And here's the answer. This is the crucial distinction. Performance can be automated. It can be scaled and replicated 1,000,000 times over. But presence? You can't automate that. It has to be inhabited. You can't fake it, you can't scale it, you can't outsource it. It demands awareness, not just output. This is what remains uniquely human. So the new signal of value, it isn't performance anymore, it's coherence. It's that quiet alignment between who you are, what you say, and what you do. And in a world that is just full of noise, that kind of coherence is incredibly rare. And you know what? Rare things don't need a shout to be noticed. And we're going to end with this, the simplest but maybe the most profound thought in the entire book. After all the striving, all the positioning, all the performing, the arrival into presence reveals a surprising truth. The goal wasn't to gain something new. It was to realize that, in this state of stillness, absolutely nothing was ever missing in the first place.